Wagwan, everybody. I'm your host. I am your host, the Nebaglu Meister, and welcome back to The Walk. Today, I really don't got much to talk about other than the fact that I had probably the best chest and back day ever. I wish I brought the camera in the gym, and I wish I can bring the camera in the gym consistently. But I made a promise to myself that I'm only going to record content in the gym when it's time to bulk. So when it's time to bulk, you guys will see so much content in the gym. In fact, it's going to be daily content in the gym, somewhat uncut, somewhat cut. I don't know. We'll see when I get back into editing and whatnot. But yeah. And obviously, we're still going to have these type of combos, these spiritual, mental health, whatnot convo, because I think there's a twofold part to the life of any good person. There is the mental part and the physical, and the relationship between the mental and the physical. I know there are some spiritual people out there that try to make you believe that there is no physical, that physicality and the physical world and the body and all these things are just illusions and whatnot. I don't really believe in that, because what's the point of it being an illusion? What's the point of your consciousness and everything that you're experiencing in life, such as matter in itself? What's the point of thinking about this in an illusion? Like, what's the point of this being an illusion? And what's the point of my will bringing it out of nowhere, so therefore it's an illusion? No, I think it's like, as Descartes beautifully said it. Descartes is probably one of the best philosophers to actually use in this example. There's a duality to the materialness of this world and the spiritualness of this world. In fact, the spiritualness of this world will not exist if not for the materialness of this world. That is something I truly believe. And that has to do with a lot of things, not really Descartes, but more on like Athanasius, the theologian, and his incarnation work. That's where I get the idea that there is no separation from the material world. I had no idea what this was coming from, but mental health. Yeah, I mean, you cannot do anything for your mind if you don't do anything for the body. For instance, we live in a society where gluttony is accessible at the right-hand corner if you want, which is what I'm struggling with. This last month, because of the stress of my life, because of the worry of my egos and its persona, I allowed it to tell me, hey, yo, just expose my stomach, why don't you? I allowed it to tell me false truths about myself. I allowed it to be like, oh, you're stressed out, you got this, you got that. Which, yeah, is true. I got a lot of things that are quite stressful, and it's kind of impacting the way I think. But it shouldn't impact my goal and the things I want to do for that goal. It shouldn't impact my dietary standards. That's why I think in order for you to do well, in order for you to be unanimous, as Aristotle said it, you need to, and not as Aristotle said it, but that's just the perfect word, like eudaimonia, in order to get like that absolute fulfillment of being a human being. I think it does require a spiritual side of things and a physical side of things. And I think the physical side of things, or spirituality, would not come without this physical. Does that make sense? Like, how do I explain this? One can lift the weight, right? But one cannot feel the sensation of lifting the weight without lifting the weight. The sensation and the feeling and the closeness to that feeling and the intimacy of that feeling is in fact spiritual. But that spirituality would not arise if not for the physicalness required to lift that weight. In my opinion, I think that's what it is. Like, I know there's a lot of people that like to argue like life is just an illusion. And I think people have to argue that in order to kind of allow themselves to make like the sin of making themselves God. If I say life is an illusion, then I am the one creating the illusion and I am the one taking away of the illusion. Therefore, I am God. I cannot arrogantly say that, because if why would I ever create an illusion? If I was God, why would I ever create an illusion and then also take away that illusion at the same time? If I am God, why would I ever do something like that to myself? Rather, I would create a perfect illusion for my life. Therefore, I am not God. Therefore, this existence was given to me by God. That's my logic, at least. In fact, I use the divine logos in order to get that logic because I'm a Christian. And that divine logos is a gift to us, given to us by God. But to say that it's us by us is arrogant. And I can never be that arrogant. In fact, to kill the ego, you must be humble because humility is the death of ego. In fact, humility is the death of the world. That's why the Western countries such as America lacks this. Imagine if we ate. Imagine if we had the blessing of the foods that we had in America, but we ate as if we didn't. Imagine if we had the blessing of McDonald's, Burger King, Chipotle, all this junk food, which I love, that I've been indulging in so badly these last month. Imagine if I ate just merely bread and meat. Or just, sometimes I'm kind of glad that the rise in gym culture is kind of, it's kind of like a backlash to the history of capitalism and consumerism and just hedonism overall. The rise of gym culture and the rise of people who love the gym is because they realize the life they have lived was kind of vain and just not human. It was just kind of like slosh and machinery and automatic. Not real any spirit behind it. In fact, I think the decision to go into the gym is a spiritual decision. The fact that you're able to look at your life, observe all the obstacles, all the variables, and say to yourself, yeah, this is not it. I need to fix something. I need to do something that can give me meaning and purpose. Sometimes that something is the gym. For me, it was the gym. Ever since I started going to the gym, my flexibility when it comes to life, became flexible. Because I actually was able to change the physical properties of myself. The physicalness of myself. Because I'm able to finally change who I am physically, maybe therefore I can change myself both mentally and spiritually. Because the gym, sure, and that's why I hate ego lifters. I hate people who lift at the gym with no sense of like actuality. No, that's not a really good word to use. With no sense of formality, or formality and actuality at the same time. There is no energy being put into it, which is the actuality part. Meaning there's no intensity. There's no intensity. There's no meaning behind every rep that they do. They just do it in 12 reps because they have to do 12 reps. So there's no actuality. And I forgot the other word I used because I needed that word to just define actuality. But nonetheless, there's nothing like beautiful about the way some people lift. They lift so egoically. They say, okay, I got my 12. It's all just a way to satisfy the ego rather than actually becoming intimate with the weights. Rather than actually not becoming the weights, because that's saying the life is an illusion, but actually becoming the sensation that you feel when you're lifting the weights. When I do I think some of the best examples is like shoulders or any leg exercises. Leg exercises are the most spiritual exercises because sometimes it's literally life or death. Barbell squats. So many people advocate for barbell squats even though they don't do the same effort. They don't give the same result as hack squats or pendulum squats, but so many people, including myself, advocate for the love of barbell squats because if you can do them correctly, they are the best ways to grow your legs. And if you can do them correctly, that means you're a very spiritual person when it comes to the gym. And you're very connected with the meaning behind going to the gym. The gym is one place where you're always guaranteed, second to church. The gym is one place where you're always guaranteed to improve and do better in life. Christianity in the church is the only other place I would say is that because I use my Christianity when I'm in the gym. I know this may sound weird, and if it do sound weird, please let me know. But I hope you guys do not judge me so harshly. But before every set I go into, I exhale the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, to kind of mentally lock myself in that this exercise I'm doing It's not just for the vanity of making my body look better. It's not just for the sake of feeling better. It's not just for the sake of feeling like, oh, I accomplished something today. But it's to constantly remind myself that I am not doing this just for myself and just for my body and just for the results that I can get from this body. But I'm doing this for the very essence of doing this. I'm doing this because I truly love it. That's what I say when I exhaling, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Who loves each other more than the triune God? And how can I invite that love into something I love? So I don't want to sit here and act like, I know I just went on a whole tangent about random stuff regarding the gym. But if you're someone struggling mentally, if you're someone struggling with your life and the purpose and the meaning behind it, and you have no reason to even want to go to the gym because you don't really care about the vanity of looking good, you don't really care about the strength or the vanity of strength or the vanity of anything that comes with the gym, because that's one of the biggest issues with the gym: vanity, pride, and egotism that comes with the gym. But if you don't care about these things, then I instantly urge you to go to the gym simply because your mental health will become better. That's why I went to the gym. Sure, some people try to place vain reasons upon it, but for me, the entire essence of why I've started going to the gym is because there was nothing in my life that I love, yet I sought love in everything in my life. And most of the things that I saw love in my life was terrible and wrong and bad, and actually just something I shouldn't have found love in my life for. But the gym was the one place where I found love in my life, where it didn't feel like it was actually bad. It was somewhere where I can go daily, and feel like I'm actually becoming better, actually improving, actually making God, myself, my Father, whatever, proud. And it's that constantly being able to do something and not, even when you fail at the gym, like say you had a bad day at the gym, the mentality that the gym gives you is, today I'm weaker than normal. It's okay, I can come back tomorrow and become strong again. While in other areas in your life, the mentality is completely, like say for school, if you fail once in school, you feel like a failure, and that feeling of a failure and the shame of a failure hits you a lot harder. But at the gym, there is no shame, there is just improvement. Yeah. And please do not go to the gym for vain reasons. Do not. Because I know people who go to the gym. I've known people in my life who've gone to the gym for vain reasons. And they can never be consistent. Because A, they can't reach the vanity that they're seeking. B, once they do reach the vanity that they're seeking, they stop reaching anything. The gym should never be for vain reasons. It should never be for a reason that is what am I trying to say here? It should never be a reason for a reason. You know what I mean? You shouldn't go to the gym so that you can have a six-pack so you can have sex with 1 million girls. No. You shouldn't go to the gym so you can have a fatter ass so millions of guys can start staring at you and you can judge them for staring at you. No. That shouldn't be your reason. Your reason to go to the gym is to go somewhere and improve consistently and daily without shame, without guilt, and without the pride and egotism of vanity. That's it. That's why, and if you do that, you'll have the best spiritual experience at the gym. I even if you don't believe in spirituality, I hate how the world raped the word. I hate how the world took and raped the meaning behind spirituality, because it is a serious issue. A lot of people are walking around not understanding they have a soul, they have a spirit, and they have a body. And this is a unity, a tri-unity of life. Alright, with that being said, I love you guys so much. Please keep watching my videos, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever that can help me, that can help the algorithm for me. Because I don't only want to do gym, mental health, spiritual concepts. I don't only want to do this. I also want to do gaming stuff. I'm a huge gamer. I've always loved gaming. In fact, my first passion that I wanted to do for the sake of YouTube was video games. But then again, how can I just do one thing? I'm not just one thing. So I want to do video games, spirituality, And like, I don't want to say spirituality, because I know the things that I'm saying might get mixed up with Hinduism, might get mixed up with Buddhism, and might get mixed up with New Ageism. And New Ageism is just something I cannot like deal with, period, as a human being, because it takes qualities of science, it takes qualities of Buddhism and Hinduism, and it takes qualities of Christianity and tries to bring them all together. And the thing is, sure, that sounds cool, but if you ask either one of these religions how they feel about New Ageism, they would be disgusted. Even the ones who created the concepts of meditations, even the ones that created the concept of the love between the Father and Son, even that kind of stuff, they will pervert it to get their meaning across. Most of the time, these people who preach New Ageism is trying to make a quick buck. Most of the time, these people who preach New Ageism is trying to teach you a way of coping that is not actually the truth. And they take the things that seems true from other religion and tries to make this fake pseudo-truth. I'm a Christian. I will defend Christ. I won't defend my Oriental Orthodox Church. I won't defend Protestant Church. I won't defend Catholic churches. But I will always defend God, and I will always defend God. And that's my life's purpose. That's my life's goal. And that's what I'm going to do with the YouTube channel. People hate that. People hate that. People got a problem with that. Hey, people got a problem with that. But all I'm trying to do is defend God through the love of God and the love of God in my life. People really got a problem with that, then I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and disrespect other positions, but I'm also not going to sit here and tolerate disrespect and be disrespecting towards the position that I have. Because if I do not talk about the position I believe in, then I am disrespecting my position, am I not? Sure, I must respect the positions of others, but I must also protect the position that I am currently in. Otherwise, my positioning is insecure. And I am not an insecure man. Sure, I am bold. Sure, I am confident. Sure, I'll try my best to be humble as well. But pride and vanity is a symptom of insecurity. In fact, they're a symptom of each other. Insecurity is a symptom of pride and vanity and pride is a symptom of insecurity. But humility is a symptom of love. Boldness and confidence is also a symptom of love. For one is bold, for they can confide confidently in the one who he loves. So that's why I'm a Christian. I know I went through this weird tangent just saying a bunch of random stuff today. And I know it wasn't really consolidated like my other videos, but this is something I really wanted to say. And I think everything I did say was pretty important to say. So with that being said, I love you guys. Take care. Be compassionate to yourself. Be compassionate towards others and help as many people as you can. And therefore, God will help you in as many ways He can. I love y'all. Take care. How many times am I going to say I love you guys? All right, bye.